Okay, this is lesson 5 for 7th grade, and today we're reviewing place value, and we're going to be reading and writing whole numbers that actually go up into the 100 trillions. This is a table that's in the 7th grade book, and it tells us exactly where all of these place values are. And we're focusing on whole numbers, so we are not going beyond the decimal to the right yet. That's a little bit later. But as you can see, we've got ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, and then it goes up to trillions. So this table should be very helpful for this section. Basically, every 3 numbers over is another comma. So we started off with this number. It's a very large number, and I just asked a couple questions about it. And here's one of them. Which number is in the trillions place? Well, this is our hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, and then we hit trillions. So 5 is in the trillions place. And which number is in the 100,000s place? Well, hundreds, and then we've got thousands, and we are talking 100,000s, so that would be thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. That would be our 0. The 9 is in what place? That would be our 10,000s. And the 7 is in what place? 7. That would be our 10 millions. 10 millions. 10 millions place. Okay. So that was just a couple examples to get us started. So one of the things that they had to do, obviously, was point out different numbers that were in each place value. That's where that chart would come in handy. Also, going the other way and saying, okay, trillions place, now find that number, or given a number, what place value is it in? So that chart, once again, would be very helpful for something like this. Oops. All right. Expanded notation comes up in this book. It's a good way for them to understand what place value actually means. Expanded notation does not mean write it out in words. The only time you write out a number in words is if it actually says write it out in words, and that is not what this says. Expanded notation talks about multiplying and adding to show this number in an expanded form. So 3, that is in our 10,000s place. So we would say 3 times 10,000 plus our 2, that is in the thousands place. So 2 times 1,000. This would be expanded notation. It shows us that the 3 is in the 10,000 spot and 2 is in the 1,000 spot. And if we actually went through and multiplied these and then added, we would get 32,000. So that is what expanded notation is talking about. Okay. Now we're getting into writing numbers as words and vice versa, using the words to write out the digits. So, these are some guidelines that are in the book. They show the commas here and what each space actually means: thousand, million, billion, trillion. And we're going to put commas after the words trillion, billion, million, thousand, whenever we have those. And we're going to hyphenate numbers between 20 and 100 that do not end in 0. And here are some examples: 52, 76, 95. So 52 with the dash, 76 with the dash, 95 with the dash. or the hyphen. Alright, so we're going to use words to write out 1,009,420. It's basically exactly how you say it. So we're going to say 1,009,420. Alright, a lot of my students wanted to put 420, not necessary, you don't need to put the and in there. It's better if you don't, because and will come into play when we talk about decimals. So 1,009,420, that is how we write that out in words. This is one we want to write in words too, and it's a little more tricky only because there are no commas in here. So what I recommend doing, if you get a number with no commas, is putting the commas in first. This one's a little easier. You go over 3 spots from our 1s to our 10s to our 100s. You know there's going to be a comma right there. So we have 20,390. 20,000. 300. 90. Alright, there we go. That is how we go from digits to words. And there are plenty more examples of that in the book and in their assignment. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. Use digits to write 501,002,020. Now, I made a mistake on this one myself. I said it earlier, we don't need the and in there. That shouldn't be there. It should be 501,002,020. So, 501,002,020. That's what we should be getting there. This is where our table would come in handy again. Yep, that looks good. Alright, and use digits to write 2,500. Well, that one's a little different. A lot of people know that when we're talking about money, they won't say $2,500, they'll say, oh yeah, 2,500. This actually means 2,500, or basically that we have 25 100s. So if we did that multiplication, 25 times 100, we would get 2,500. So that's what we're looking for there. Now once again, using the table would be very helpful in this situation as well. So there we go. We've got a couple examples on place value, and this should have been review. Other than that, lots of examples in the book, assignments out on the homework link, and utilize that table that I pointed out that's in your book.